Hello guys, today we're going to be working on this GE side-by-side refrigerator. The model number is on the display. Welcome to DIY Repair Now. Read all the warnings, and during this video you will see one or more of these icons to help you do this repair safe. The complaint that we have with this refrigerator is that every time they try to get water, it makes a weird noise. It's like a rattling noise, and I'm gonna give you an example of the noise that it's making. That was an example, and because the customer recorded, and that's what it was doing, and it was not giving any water. So we're gonna go ahead and check the filter to see if there's anything wrong with the filter. It looked like the filter is still fine. So we're gonna remove this cover for to get access to the filter housing. Now everything looked like it's gonna be the filter housing. So the way I check this is this way. All the time be prepared for water to spill down. Just put like a rag or something, and as you see, I'm pressing like a little valve. You will see like a little tip in there, as you see in this footage. Just press that up with a flathead screwdriver or anything to help you push it up, and then if you get water there, that means you got water pressure. So we're gonna go ahead and replace the filter housing. We also gonna verify, because the customer also said that the ice maker wasn't giving any ice. So the water that gets to the ice maker goes through the filter as well. So that means the filter housing was not letting water go into the ice maker. So just put your fingers inside the ice maker, and it was no ice there, so that's an indication that there's no water getting into the ice maker because the filter housing is bad. So it's kind of obvious, if the filter housing is not working, you're not going to get anything. This is the two 1/4 screws that we need to remove to be able to remove the filter housing. So we're going to go ahead and before we pull the refrigerator out, remove the two 1/4 screws. Once you remove the two 1/4 screws, we're gonna have to get in the back. Again, always be prepared for water to spill out, because it always happens. Now over here, I wanted to mention, you can close the water valve, but in my case, I try not to bother with it, because sometimes when you close it, it doesn't want to open back up, or when you open it up, it doesn't want to close. So I avoid to mess with that water valve by just kink and pinch the water line to be able to replace this. Another thing is that if you mess with that water valve and you create another issue, then now you have two issues. We're gonna use a 1/2 inch ratchet, as you see right there. Yeah, it's a 1/2 inch. You can use 2 1/2 inches, or you can use a 1/2 inch and a crazy ratchet, a crazy wrench, or 2 crazy wrench if you have 2 ones. I always keep 2 crazy wrench for this kind of thing, but I also have this 1/2 inch. Now we're gonna go ahead and double check. We know we already checked inside and we got water pressure, but we just want to verify we have enough pressure going into the water valve, because you need 120 psi going into the water valve to be able to get water through the water valve. And as you see, I removed my vice grips from the water line, and we do have a water pressure. And you can also go ahead and close it at the water valve if that's what you want, or that's the only choice that you have, and you cannot kink the water hose. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove this cover, and also this putty. This is like a plumbing putty that is around the pipe. That's just to prevent hot air to go inside. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove a couple screws to be able to access to the water valve. What I do in some repairs, I remove the whole cover just to have a better access. But in this repair, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove a couple just to have access to the water valve and remove the water hose. As you see, you need to be prepared for water to spill down all the time, because it always happens. And go ahead and remove any tape that is securing the tubing, and push it through. Once you push it through, it's going to be loose in the other side. Now you need some room to work with. Push it back and get the old filter housing out. This is the new part, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you the part number. You can find this part in the link in the description of this video. There's gonna be a link there that will take you to a replacement in Amazon and a couple more places. I use a OEM part. I believe they don't even make this aftermarket, but just to be on the safe side, go ahead and make sure. This is a bypass that brings for manufacturing. In case you have a filtration system, you're not gonna need any filter, so you can use the bypass, which in this case, the homeowner said that they're gonna take care of the filter later. I was offering one, but they said that somebody was in the way home with a new one. So we're gonna go ahead and just replace the filter housing and leave the bypass that you see on it through. Now we're gonna go ahead and put some tape to make this part of this styrofoam Armaflex skinny to be able to go through the hole, because sometimes it gets stuck. The other thing that I do, this is a tip, guys, go ahead and put a little bit of soap, a little bit of oil, like cooking oil, whatever, right by where you make a skin, especially this part. Just put a little bit of soap. That way it slides through the hole, because if you don't do that, it's gonna keep getting stuck and it's gonna take forever to get it in the right spot. Remember, there is a couple teeth in the bottom of the filter housing in that hot spot right there. They need to be fit in. So go ahead and push it in those holes with those teeth and the 2 1/4 screws on the top. Remember, those teeth in the bottom are in the hole and it's secured well, because otherwise it's going to be just wobbling. Go ahead and put the 2 1/4 screws. Like I said, my 1/4 bit got stuck in there, but I got it out. Yeah, if those teeth in the bottom are not in place, every time you're trying to put the filter housing, it's going to be all wobbling and it can end up damaging the filter as well. So just keep that in mind. Now we're gonna go ahead and put this piece of styrofoam. Some models does not bring that piece of styrofoam, but this one does. So if you have a piece of styrofoam, go ahead and switch it from the other one. Go ahead and put the putty knife back in this area to prevent some hot air to go inside the refrigerator side, and put the cover back where it goes. These are also 1/4 screws. Okay. Now go ahead and take them apart if they are too tight for you. In one line will go to the water valve. And again, this will be a 1/2 inch, or just use your adjustable crazy wrench to be able to adjust and tighten the water hose. Now, this is a little bit complicated. Sometimes people do like a hand tie and there's no issues, but it's a problem if you over tighten it, and it's a problem if you leave it loose. So go ahead and screw it in until you start feeling tension in your hand. Once you feel tension in your hand, just go one more, as you see right there, and then that should do it. Don't force it, because you're going to end up damaging the threads or the new tubing. Remember, this is plastic. Now we're going to go ahead and do this procedure again, where we use a 1/2 inch and a crazy wrench to be able to tighten it. And you have to go just hold the one on the left and then go ahead and twist it clockwise until you tighten it. It's counterclockwise to get it loose, and clockwise to tighten it. Now remove the vice grips from the line and just put it in a way that the water will go through with no issues, and just look for leaks. I don't see any leaks here. Always trying to run a couple water cups to let water go through and make sure you don't have any leaks before you put everything back together. At this point, we're pretty much done. Go ahead and install all this. Oh, by the way, these are 5/16 screws. So you need a 1/4 bit for the rest of the screws and 5/16 for that back panel. Once you put all the screws and secure the back panel, go ahead and adjust the water hose in a way that is not gonna get tangled or is not gonna kink by itself in the back, and then you're gonna have low water pressure. Then push it back in place, and as you see, we got water on the door, which we didn't have any water. It wasn't getting any water at all, and no ice. So once you get the new filter or the new water filter housing in place, go ahead and dump about 5 cups of water just to get the air out of the lines. As you see right there, I pushed the teeth up of the ice maker, and that's how you reset the ice maker to make it start working again. Or you can use this method and push it 3 times and hold it. Some ice makers, you need to push this flapper 3 times, and the 3rd time hold it in, and it will reset the ice maker and it's going to start working. Or in this model, what I did is grab the teeth and pull it towards me until it starts moving the teeth. I don't know if you can see right there in that footage, but the ice maker teeth are rotating already. This takes a little bit of time, so I fast forward it, and as you see right here, I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward it as well because it takes some time. It might take about 10 minutes to go through the whole process, so I'm fast forwarding here, but you can see that the teeth are rotating, and in a couple seconds you will see the water coming in because the filter housing is already being replaced. And you can see in here the water flowing on the ice maker. That means the ice maker should start working again. Okay, just make sure everything is good with the flapper. And at this point, like I said, we're pretty much done. We gotta put this cover back on. And at the beginning, I didn't explain to you, but I'm gonna explain to you now. This is a male to female connection right there. This is a little tricky to put it in. And this is a tab. It should go right there, and the bottom one under there. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and fit it in, and it's like a little trick to be able, remember that the teeth, they both are correct and everything is steady and good. Now let's put it in place and put the 2 tabs on the left first. And this is the trick that I used to be able to do the one on the right. Okay, go ahead and put those tabs. Now the one on the right is still loose, so I put my hands and my fingers underneath and make it go on the male to female connection there. Now it's in place and it's secure. You get the idea. Thanks for watching.